The following is a presentation of Muddy River News.
Of course we're rolling, but that's okay. I'm going to, now that you're sitting back down, we will go.
Hi. I feel like it's been forever.
Merry Christmas, ladies.
I know. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
So we are, as we're getting ready to take a little break, although we're not taking that much of a break because we're going to do a year-end review show next week. But this weekend, of course, we have Christmas Eve, Christmas coming up, and Festivus at Spring Street.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a poll?
Yeah.
An airing of grievances?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Not one that you can,
Saturday,
like, is there gonna be
Spring Street.
Yeah.
3 to 8.
That poll has been around for a minute. It's like one of those old school.
Evidently, I've been missing out.
I got Stacey O'Brien sent me a screenshot of your post. Like, are we going? I'm like, sure.
Where else are you going to be?
Sure. Why not? And the kids should be back by then, so the two eldest can go. So I know you can't. Like, Scott's only 20, so maybe come have a soda or something.
Yeah, he definitely can.
Sure.
I'll be at I'll be at the Little Theater watching the Nutcracker. My nieces and
it's a Nutcracker year, huh?
Yeah. And
is it not every year?
Every other
year.
Oh.
And I'm telling you, if you're not in the spirit, if you're not feeling the Christmas spirit by now, you should go see the Nutcracker because it never fails.
Were you in it?
No. I always took from Burnett dance right down here, but watching my nieces, they're two of the best dancers on stage, and that's not just me being biased. They are amazing dancers. So I'm excited.
We were decorating the tree earlier this week, and Scott, who's Ellen's elf, I mean, he's the one who's all into it. He's the Christmas kid, and he said he wanted to put Home Alone on in the background, and I'm like, you don't want Christmas music? No, I want Home Alone. Okay. So
better than The Godfather, like I said.
Yes, Godfather, not so Christmassy. So we got the tree. We didn't get our tree till late. We got it like last weekend.
Where'd you get it from?
Lowe's. So, but see, we also leave ours up all the way till the end, like the Epiphany. All the way. So like January 6th or whatever. So, or whenever the Boy Scouts come pick them up.
I was going to say ours is normally up till like March-ish because it's fake, and we're like, why not? Stretch it out a little bit.
We had the outside done nice and early during one of those nice weekends when Scott was home, and then but now we've got the other, the trees ready, and there's a couple presents and some Amazon boxes and all that. So,
are you going to wrap the Amazon boxes or just say?
I will probably take them out of boxes and put them in bags. Is what I will do. Yes. Yep.
That's a bow.
That's bow.
Yep.
Okay, bow. I can do the bow. I still have to go out. I am taking I'm taking Friday, Monday, Tuesday off. So I'm going to try to get. I do have a couple of little things I need to get Ellen Friday, so I'll do that.
You better have.
Imagine that it's
right.
I've got the other stuff.
What was the meme that we were just saying? Men, it's time to start. It's time to start thinking.
I've
shopping. Already gotten other things,
but you don't need to start shopping yet.
No. I've started. I'm good.
Yeah, you said it.
And plus, we did the trip. So the trip was the big thing. The California trip over Thanksgiving was the big thing.
Stop trying to two for Ellen.
Yeah. Oh, that's huge. Right? Come on. We paid for all the kids' airfare. Even the freaking high roller out of Chicago. We paid for his damn airfare.
She deserves the best dang gift you can find.
She's already got it.
I knew that was coming.
You set me up so
I know.
Well.
So, quick question. Do you find yourself ordering more on Amazon than other places, than locally shopping?
50-50, I'd say. Yeah.
Full disclosure, I have done almost 95% of my shopping on Amazon. It's awful. I know it's awful. But with like vacation and sickness and things, I'm like, guys, just
last
so
minute thinking too, especially if you're Prime 2-day. There was something he and I were talking about, like places to go from on Coffee Talk that one time, and there was a store that's similar to Amazon. It's online, like it was called, I think, the General Master or Master General or something like that. But it was like Amazon that had everything.
Really?
And it was small business, but like really personable. I don't know. And that's what we were saying, how these businesses that like are local need to go that route where you do have everything available. I mean, I think most of them do.
Yeah.
And like their delivery is amazing.
I know. But, and I think so one thing that I've noticed is more small shops are selling through Amazon, and you can see if it's a small business selling through Amazon. So I do try to go that direction.
That's good.
Shame on me that I didn't go
No
more
shame.
local. But I did say after Christmas, because my girls are impossible to close shop for, we'll be doing that locally.
I probably 50-50 actually, because I got some things from Tommy across the hall that over Tri-City Sports, and then I'll pick Ellen a couple things tomorrow. And of course, Target was a big help this year being here, so that was nice. But yeah, this was the first time that we didn't make a trip to Chesterfield or Springfield or anything. So
Have you been
we
to
hit
Chesterfield recently?
Yeah.
Oh, sad.
Really?
The mall there.
Well, the Chesterfield Mall, but you go the strip mall there.
the little
is
strip mall,
great.
yeah.
We haven't been to Chesterfield Mall for years because
so
it's a
sad.
ghost
I've
town
heard
like all
that.
of them.
It's like a pickleball,
Really?
big pickleball tournament thing now. Yeah.
When Ellen was in high school, she lived in Florissant, so that's in North County, and she worked at the KB Toy and Hobby in the Jamestown Mall.
That would be such a fun job.
That was her high school job, and now the Jamestown Mall it's been raised. I mean,
Really?
they're like putting apartments and stuff there, condos now. It's gone.
I hope that's cyclical. I hope that mall shopping comes back, or that all boutiques get into
There's
one
still,
big thing.
I mean, like West County Mall down there is still decent.
It is,
and
yeah.
then there's a couple other malls around that still have decent traffic, but
Yeah.
a lot of them they've been really just kind of repurposed. I mean, even what we've done here with Quincy Medical Group, all their expansion and stuff there. So
Yeah.
but it's been. But no, I think I've actually not everything was
50-50.
online. Yeah.
Yeah, I promised myself I would do better next year shopping local because I enjoy it more, I think. Just clicking buttons and spending money is not fun.
No, and being on your phone too. It's just not the same.
No, and I know a lot of it's going to end up getting returned, and hopefully we can make that up by shopping local. But yeah, it's been. So I guess I'm saying that so that if anyone else is doing that they don't feel quite as much shame.
Guilty.
As I, yeah, because I'm like, gah. But I think we're pretty much ready. I did mention there's only 273 more little tasks I have to get done before we're absolutely ready. No, but we host Christmas Eve, and so cleaning before people make a mess.
And then
What
you
a
have to clean
racket.
afterwards
Yes!
too. But
I'm
the
like,
cleaning before is always stressful.
It is, yeah, because you're like, okay, I know you just have this feeling that people are going to come in and look at your baseboards. Nobody gives a shit about your baseboards, right?
No.
But I did look up at my fans today. Ugh. I got some work to do there.
Listen, me too.
So if nothing else, at least it will get me
Motivated to do that.
because I don't want people coming in and being like, God,
with their white gloves going, ooh, Ashley's filthy.
Yeah, yeah.
Filthy animal.
I know,
Now,
right?
Are you taking much time? Are you guys taking much time off with your children being off, or no?
I don't know. Am I, Bob? You set yourself up.
Nope.
No, you're not.
No,
So
no time off for you.
Yeah.
What is his name? What's his name? Scrooge.
Scrooge.
Yeah,
Scrooge.
he's Scrooge. Yeah, but
Where are you?
You've got Monday.
Christmas.
Monday and are you working Tuesday? Are you guys? No, we're not.
we're
No, we're
not
not
gonna
doing
be
Tuesday.
here
You got Monday and
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
True.
Be happy.
I mean, I still.
Here's your
but,
pittance or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I'm not.
There's your penance.
If something major happens, David can call me. You can call me, whatever. Because I'm not planning on looking at the website all
Off
week.
the grid.
I'm
Good
trying.
for
Yeah,
you.
just as long as the kids are in town.
Yeah.
So just to do that, and then I'm going to work because next week is basketball. So David's going to Bloomington and Matt's going to Collinsville, and so I'll be kind of handling stuff around here. Actually,
Yeah.
Brittany will be handling stuff around
Yeah.
here. So.
It's a give and take.
You don't want me in charge. We already learned that.
We saw you in charge.
Yeah.
That was pretty
That
awesome.
was so impressive.
Thank you.
The face that you made was like, boom, sold. I'd vote for. Yeah.
I'm not trying. I think that was my stint to the extent
That's
of
it?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
I don't blame you. I mean, I always wonder, and I kind of wish I was going to be on because I have some questions I was telling you. I'm so curious about, what makes you want to do that
In the first place? Put yourself
because
so
it's
out there.
It's thankless and
Very, yeah.
you're in the limelight and you're never going to please anyone, everyone, right? And everybody's just seems like they're constantly finding something wrong with what you're doing.
Oh, I was saying just with that picture alone, I was like, I have haters. and it's not that big a deal, but I couldn't imagine, I guess, being in his shoes and doing that regularly.
No.
I mean, I know I have haters all the time, but I don't think they normally go out of their way to
but it's different
make
when
the comments and things like that. And regardless if you say ignore them,
still gets
we
under
are
your skin.
all human, and it's like
Yes, I agree.
And I think you take a position like that because you have a vested interest in bettering things or doing things different and hoping that you can get people in this vortex of being on board with some things that you want to get done. And I can only imagine just like the dark cloud comes, like the first time somebody's like, what the?
Yeah.
And I can just only imagine how often that happens in that position. But
no, it's, and again, in that kind of position, whether you're the mayor, in an alderman or whatever, obviously the mayor's the face of the city and all that stuff. So he's going to take a brunt of it. And maybe, and of course, someday because we'll have a female mayor someday. Just don't know when that'll be.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, sure. Why wouldn't we?
I was.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, we'll have a female mayor who will serve
Bob.
longer than 4 hours.
Yeah.
So clarify that.
Right,
Is your picture still up in City Hall?
No, they took it down already.
dang it. Nobody drew a mustache on it or
No.
anything or devil horns? Well, that's okay then. Consider it a win.
Yeah.
So how was it?
It was great. It
Yeah?
was fun. I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you'll have to watch.
Yeah.
Why do we still have a food and beverage tax, though? You failed.
Yeah.
Failed.
I got the no, and I
Dang it.
Failed.
So you're not the hammer of city council.
no.
Dang it.
You mean yeah.
Did you have Did you get to use the gavel?
Yes, and Officer Yates called it a hammer, and I said, "I'll show you what I can do with this." Because I go, "Is it a hammer? Is it a gavel?" He goes, "I didn't even know that was there." I go, "Me neither." I was looking through all the drawers, and I'm like going, "Oh, can I use this? Can I use
That's
this?"
so funny.
They all were so nice and played along. Great. When I say played along, the purpose of this was to be funny. So
did you steal the vintage Virgil Gale stationery? Did you stick a couple pads in your purse?
No, a couple pieces.
Just a couple pieces. Okay, you didn't take a whole pad. So you showed me that in a picture. I'm like, Virgil's been gone a long time, and that stuff's still in the drawers there.
I was writing my notes on the.
Alderman Virgil Gale
and it was
stationary.
To elect him too, so it was even before his.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of cool.
It was.
Yeah.
I don't know Virgil. I don't know if he was good, bad, or ugly, but that's kind of cool to have a piece of that history.
He was known.
Yeah.
I just don't want to know what's in Mike Farhaw's drawer. That's all I know.
Maybe we should have like a quiz or like what's in the box.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen that?
We'll have David show up early with his camera next meeting, go through each drawer, just
my
see
gosh.
what's in there, picture by picture. So
Yeah, you may want to censor that.
I actually, when I was on the plan, I sat on the plan commission for a bit when I was on park board, and the chair I sat in was Farhaw's chair.
Yeah.
So, and I did have to put something
Rummage
in the desk.
through
I
his
didn't
stuff.
rummage. I had to there was something that Chuck Bevelheimer said, there's something in the drawer, or if it was for the meeting. So I opened it up, and it was fine. It was just papers.
Yeah.
So
I'm just kidding. I love Farha.
there was no chewed gum or boogies or anything. It
Boogies?
Was,
Is that what you just said?
the boogies.
That's awesome. I wasn't thinking chewed gum, not at all. But well, I'm glad you enjoyed your stint as mayor. I can't wait to watch the video, and I'm really excited to hear what our guest has to say because you guys are going to have to. I'm going to have to give you my questions because I got to know some of these things.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm going to be off camera.
Pressing buttons.
She's going to
and
produce
see.
her virgin voyage of producing.
We'll see how this works out. Just don't blame me. We'll just want to make sure.
You just look at the camera, look at the monitor. When somebody's talking, hit it. You're fine. And if
Yeah,
you hit
but
a
I'm
wrong
going to be
button-
all
and if you hit a
enthralled
wrong
with your
button-
conversation.
But if you hit
and
a
I'm
wrong
just-
button, I can fix it.
Okay.
Look at it that way.
All right.
Don't press too many buttons too fast because you'll give them whiplash.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've done that before.
We don't want anybody to get disoriented. Yeah.
I've done that.
All right. Well, hey, good luck,
Thanks.
and I'll be listening and ask some questions that I shoved your way because I'm really curious about something.
Sounds
Okay.
All right, coming up.
Mayor Mike Trope.
Yep.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
A&B Properties is Quincy's largest apartment rental company with hundreds of units available. They offer short-term and long-term rentals with 1 up to 4 bedroom apartments. A&B Properties meets the needs of its tenants with care, compassion, and a quality of service that exceeds expectations. A&B Properties also has a convenient tenant app for you to do your payments or make repair requests. Give them a call today. A&B Properties, 217-919-8800. 8080 Quincy.
In the front row, kicking back old school tracks like damn.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. Mary, good to see you again.
I'm not the mayor anymore. Remember,
You did a great job.
Thank you very much for having me. I do appreciate it.
There was no mushroom cloud. That was my gauge for success.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how she
Wait,
can get
mushrooms?
Mushroom cloud? No.
No, just from the explosion.
No, I'm sure you had mushrooms before you went into City Hall. I'm talking about the mushroom cloud of a bomb that somebody
okay.
China. You made China mad or something.
No, I didn't. I don't think I upset anybody.
Really?
I
I'm
don't
still
think
trying
so.
to figure out how you can get a day's worth of work done in 4 hours. But
Yeah, same. It was
You're
tough.
awesome.
It was tough, but I managed to make it happen.
Why did you not do it on a Monday though? Why did she not preside over a city council meeting?
I would never put myself in that position. Never. I liked those quiet meetings that, are planning for the big show. Mm-hmm. Planning for the big show, too.
Yeah, you were fine, right?
Yeah.
Nobody
Nope. No one
was
beat
out of
me
line
up.
or anything.
Didn't share any state secrets.
No.
Didn't violate any Open Meetings Act. It was
didn't.
all, it was, like I said, the
Smooth
city.
sailing.
She ran a great meeting.
So when is this how many times have this been done? Have you done this before?
I've done it twice.
And has it been kids before?
Yes, one was a Baldwin student, Connor, and he was awesome because he really eventually wants to become a mayor or a politician.
Okay.
So we had a riot with him. I mean, he was really excited.
Did he prank call anybody?
No, he did not prank call anybody. He was much more serious than that. He was a great.
Sounds like he's going to be a good mayor.
Could be, I think.
I think the only thing you missed out on is when you should have called Marty Stegman at Transit like Doc Brown for Back to the Future and gone, Marty! That would have been great.
That would be good. About being serious, though, a lot of people look at you as being very serious. And I learned that day that, I like that about you. I think I don't need my mayor to be anything other than doing his job. I don't know. I really enjoyed that aspect that, that really came to light, and but not everybody is one-sided. Other people, everybody has different dimensions to them. So if you could tell anybody or tell our audience something about yourself that maybe people don't know, a side of you that maybe people don't know.
Well, one that people don't realize or remember unless we grew up together,
Mm-hmm.
but I have a twin brother.
Ah.
And we are not identical.
Dang, that'd have been fun.
That would have been
He's
fun.
tall. He's, weighs less than me, has some hair, not a full head, but more than I have. But yeah, so that's something. And that was sort of fun growing up. You always had a friend,
Yeah.
play around. And I was much more quiet than he was. He was more of the outgoing one until he graduated after 3 years of high school. We both had enough credits, but it was like, hey, why am I leaving this?
Yeah.
This is a pretty good gig here, being a senior.
That last year when you have nothing but lunch,
Yeah.
study hall, early
I had
dismissal.
swimming. I had early morning swimming, and then you'd have to come in, and I was in the PI program, so we had to check in with the PI secretary, Carol, who was she was fun.
What's the PI program?
Procrastination in education. I'm sorry, no, it was personalized.
I was going to say, what?
Education.
Procrastination.
But it was independent study. You would just
Okay.
take, history, you do it in packets. Math, you do it in packets. English lit, which I'm not sure I took any packet.
Yeah.
But they had packets there too. So anyway, it was fun. And
Do you have any other siblings besides?
I had an older sister. She died a few years ago.
Okay.
But yeah,
Sorry to hear
so
that.
she was the first child, and then twins came, and they were boys.
And she probably had her
life
hands full.
flipped upside down.
Oh, yeah, no
So,
doubt. I'm
yeah.
sure. And then, of course, you have grandkids, right?
I have 2 grandchildren. I've got a 3-year-old granddaughter. And, I had 3 boys, with my wife. And so to have this little girl in our life is just a whole different world. And, I was trying to talk everybody into making sure she's going to be a soccer player or a swimmer or whatever. She's really into music and dance, and I think I'm going to be going
to the Nutcracker.
I think so. But hey, she's going to be there. I'm going to love it.
That's going to be good.
And then she's got a younger brother, just turned 1, and he's they're both fun.
I attended the Greta annual meeting, and you kind of gave the top 10 things of this year that you felt were some pretty sizable accomplishments. But then you also in that same vein talked about some of the things that are still challenges. Especially the housing situation and the labor market of just trying to find more employees. And, we've brought in some, like you had talked about bringing in United Alloy on the manufacturing side. And, of course, everybody knows we have Target on the retail side now. So what is being done, and I know the housing study is something that everybody's working on, but as far as the labor market goes and as far as the training goes, what are some of the things that are being worked on for that to kind of make sure that our jobs are getting filled?
Yeah, housing's a big part of that. We heard earlier this year from some of our largest employers, they were able to recruit and make offers to the talent that they needed to move here. And the holdup was, well, once we find a home, we'll move. And so that really got us focused that we really got to concentrate on the housing and get that in a better situation. And again, there's not an adequate housing supply in every category. It's not the McMansions, you need 10 more of those. It's forget that. You need entry-level housing, some additional lower income housing for the couple that's both working, with a child or two. We need housing for every category. And so we're working on that. There's a lot of activity, in the process. The difficulty is you're usually looking a year out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's not, we can just open up a box and, here's another living situation. The other, just from job recruiting, the larger employers are really working on that. Greta is still managing our incentive program for people that are moving in. There's a couple groups that I know are trying to get pockets of people. When we hear through our consultants that there was a major layoff in, if it's a manufacturing or healthcare, or depending on what the skill set is, we will do some targeted marketing in those areas. But, not everybody wants to move from where they were raised.
Sure.
So it's a challenge in all that, but you got to keep trying. We've got some good jobs. We've got low cost of living, relatively speaking, compared to a lot of the larger communities, within a 4-hour drive of us. We think Quincy's got a lot to offer, and it's a matter of getting that word out. And hopefully when you have friends, relatives, former work associates, you tell them, hey, you ought to look at Quincy. But it's an ongoing, I think, endless discussion.
I guess, what do we say in regards, we said the consultants, like you said, are the people that are bringing people in here. It was just recently brought to light that, it was in the media that other people are saying, no, I brought this person here. So I guess what is your response to that, where people are arguing who brought who where?
Yeah. You're referring to that next site contract.
But I guess not only that, too. I mean, I guess there are other examples of just people saying, I brought this person here, and then we use...
Honestly, Victory has a lot of fathers.
Yeah. I don't care who gets credit for bringing a business to town.
But if we're paying for it.
Well, okay, let's talk about that. So the next site contract, and again, that specifically, I've spent a good part of the last month going through every angle of that agreement and what the developers locally have been doing versus what they have been doing. And the contract with Nextsite is not as clear as I wish it was. Okay. But it's a contract that the city signed. Okay. So with that, it says that Nextsite is going to reach out to retailers to share information about our community and the background statistics, the economy, the other retailers in the area, how your business would be complemented by coming to this market. There's nothing in that basic agreement that says I'm going to take you as a retailer and introduce you directly to the property owner or the developer. It just says Nexsite's contract is to give you more information on Quincy, Illinois.
So if we found out that we didn't need that, like for example, in the Target, it was the Planet Fitness Nexsite situation, is there an opportunity then to, I guess, fix that contract or make it clearer?
What we're trying to do, there's the actual day-to-day activity of that Nexsite contract expires the end of January of 24.
Okay.
But for the next 2 years, there's a success fee based off of anyone that they spoke to up until January 31st of 2024. If they come to Quincy from then through January 31st to 26, there would be a success fee payable.
So do you think they helped us in any way, really?
Yeah, I think they helped get the word about Quincy out to a variety of retailers. They have a list that shows, I don't know, I can't recall the exact number, if it's 15 to 22 different retailers that they've had discussions with, other developers to that they could be at $125,000 additional in compensation based on their definition of the success fees.
But you're also looking to do a buyout of their contract, right?
Right. And so we've negotiated. We've had a couple conversations. Chuck Bevelheimer, who is our planning and development director, he and I were on the call with principals of Nexsite, and we have a proposal going to the city council Tuesday night to have a one-time buyout to settle that. And I think it's fair for the community, and it's fair to Nexsite because the developer doesn't really know. They haven't really had the liberty of seeing the contract that the city has with Nexsite. So they just know, look, if I'm going to work with any of the developers, if you're going to bring somebody in and you want to get a fee, you're going to negotiate that up front before you do it, okay? There was no handoff with any of the Nexsite contacts with any of our developers. And so that's where the local developers just say, hey, wait, I've been having conversations with the principal, and there's documentation that both sides have.
Right.
Like you just said, the developer wouldn't know the contract. I guess that brings up another, question I have, transparency. So is there a way that the developers would know, where everything, and then I guess what also do you say to the community or anybody when we talk about transparency, or when people are hounding, and saying the lack of transparency?
Well, that's part of the reason why we searched out to have a different retail consultant. And
because they weren't being transparent, or what?
I don't think we were sharing enough information, and it wasn't targeted or focused well enough. To me, I would rather spend our energy working on other big box retailers. I'd like to see, Macy's. Macy's has a smaller community, 30,000 square foot store. Mm-hmm. I think our market fits that. I'd love to get somebody like that.
I would love to get a Macy's too.
Then you have Home Goods, Ross. There's several other big box stores. I would like to focus that. Now, the retail strategies, we've got a meeting with them coming in late January, and part of that is not only to drive through our community, meet with us, but we're going to have them meet face to face with some of our larger developers.
Okay.
So they know this is what we're hired to do. If you're willing and want us to market part of your property or several properties, let us know, and we're going to put them on our listing. Okay. And there's no other fee that the property owner or the local developer has to pay. It's just something that we're doing to try to generate, more retailers in this market.
In dealing with the city council on things like this, and yes, I know that at times we talk about transparency communication. Obviously, the aldermen get their packet. They get all the information they need. If they want information and they request more information, you and Jeff and whoever provide it for them, right?
We try to.
So if they're at a meeting and some of them complain about not having enough information or about being blindsided or what have you, but is there anything more that you think the administration can do on the front end to kind of stop that, or you think it's just kind of they're just going to gripe and we're just going to try to do our best?
Well, we're trying. Since that, I still send out a abbreviated version of typically 4 to 6, bullet points of things that we've been working on. Either is going to be part of the city council agenda, at the next meeting or in 2 weeks, or pointing out different hurdles. Like this week, we've talked the next site contract. We've negotiated a settlement. I think it's a good deal. Administration's behind trying to do this. I would hope to get the support of the council to approve this, because we don't need 3 weeks of arguing or disagreement. Do we like it or we don't like it? And I think just with the next 3 probably people that have moved to town, it's going to be more of the same.
Yeah.
And so, look, we've learned by this. We've got to move forward. Let's pay this. We'll go forward. It's good. It's fair to the taxpayer. It's fair to the developer. And it's fair to the retail consultant next site who's performed already.
So when's the next announcement, ballpark-wise? Of a new big box or a new retail location? Do we have anything on the horizon?
There are several in the works. The buyers of the Shopko property have 2 or 3 options of what they're still considering. They haven't come back to tell us, hey, we want to get a building permit to do specifically this one. But they're working. You notice they came in the last few weeks. They had time between 2 other projects, so they brought their construction crew in to eliminate some of the internal offices that they won't need no matter what option they select. The Tom Marks, who owns the former Sears building, he's working on another tenant there. Parking's an issue. Tom only owns the parking between the former Sears building and that former Sears Auto, which is where
Blessing Clinic
is. And so he's looking at what other options he has to expand parking. He's got, I think, some awesome plans there. And that's still over a 50,000 square foot, retail. That will be another retail center there. We've got the former, Bath and Body?
Bed Bath and Beyond.
Bed Bath and Beyond. So that space is open. Tom Marks has also had some additional construction out on that Prairie Trails development. He's got several different groups already interested, and that could be at least a third, if not a half of that, committed to here, early in 24.
I always call that Tom Marks land out there.
Yeah.
Like Tom Marks, go to Tom Marks land.
Yeah.
He's a great developer. And he told me probably a year and a half ago, he came up to me at after one meeting and said, Mayor, don't believe people when they tell you brick and mortar retail is dead. He goes, it's far from dead. And he's proven it out.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
So what we were talking about a little bit with the transparency thing, or just being in the limelight, do people ever come up to you and just yell at you? like about things like that? Like if you're ever in Winkings grabbing a sandwich, if somebody said, "Hey, Mayor, be more transparent," or something like that while you're trying to get your ham salad, like is that
ham and cheese?
Ham and cheese?
Ham and cheese, yeah.
Okay, you got to try the ham
sometimes not
salad.
even the cheese.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you had the ham salad?
No,
It's
I'm
like
not, yeah.
candy.
Is it?
Yes.
Gotcha. I may have to try it, but
Okay,
Frank,
so
sorry.
what do you do when people come up to you and
I
are
get stopped.
negative?
So I was at a lunch meeting today. Somebody stopped me. "You're the mayor, aren't you?" I said.
Do you ever say
never
no?
know
No, I'm his
what's coming
twin
next.
brother now.
Yeah. And I said, "Yeah, no, I am. How can I help you?" And he asked me about a relative who was in Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, I was like, okay, I can handle that one.
Don't have to dodge any punches.
Yeah. So I don't get anybody being more transparent. I from time to time I have a question about this.
But no one would say to you, to your face, some of the comments that they say online.
Rarely.
No, people are much more rude on a keyboard than they are face to face.
That's for everyone, though,
Exactly,
too.
right?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I was just wondering if,
But I
if
do
that
get-
took a different step when you have even bigger shoes,
No, and my shoes are no bigger than anybody else. Okay, I people need somebody to blame if something goes wrong, and so if you're doing something with the city and something goes wrong, they're going to blame the mayor.
Well, I mean, you are the captain of the ship, right?
Right. Okay. Now I don't
Just
get
like-
to call all the shots.
No, I
but
figured that out real quick.
Yeah, but like you asked 3 questions as soon as you came in, and what were the answers?
No. And the other one was a question, but,
Yeah, maybe.
maybe.
Yeah. So
Watch it.
It takes a little while to figure that out, but I'm going to be respectful. We don't have to always agree
Absolutely.
on everything.
Yeah.
But I respect anybody and their opinion. Now, at the end of the conversation, I may say, let me share some additional facts because I don't believe you're aware of this information. And if you are, I think you're gonna change or reconsider your position.
And that's why you get the ham and cheese, because you're like, man, my sandwich is getting cold. I had to do all this.
Yeah. Wikis is a great place to go.
Yeah. Okay, so Ashley's big question, what you heard her say, what made you decide to put yourself in these shoes in the first place? Why did you
I've
decide
asked
to?
that question so many times.
Okay, but
It's really
originally,
simple. It's really simple. Kyle Moore was the previous mayor. Kyle decided that he wasn't going to seek a third term. And then there were a lot of people that had no government experience, and they had no public service experience, saying, "Oh, gee, I'm going to run." And I'm like,
did you
"Wait
think
a
I was
minute.
one of them?
We're coming out of no.
I'm
Paul's
kidding.
an experienced person.
Well, yeah. Oh, who?
Oh.
I'm sorry, what?
You mentioned Paul Havermeyer. You were talking about yourself.
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
Your
but
whole
Paul,
self-right. Brittany,
Paul
yes.
is, I think out of all of them, you and, I mean, obviously that's what it boiled down to.
But and I just said, look, we've got to have somebody with more experience to come do that. Quincy is at that point, coming out of COVID. We needed to take. To me, I want to see Quincy grow. Okay, I'm not happy with the status quo. Quincy used to be a 50,000 populated community.
When?
I can't remember the exact years, but it really is not that long ago. And there's no reason why we can't get back there.
I think in the 60s. I think 50s, 60s, we were at 50,000.
So before my time. Where are we at now?
38
39.
and change.
Yeah.
So, of course, if you just get Tri-Townships annexed, then you'd have your 50, right?
Yeah, well, we're having trouble with annexing. You saw that a couple of meetings ago.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. So that's always
Well,
been my...
but you know what? Annexing
Is annexing
helps.
zoning?
It includes it, but annexing is just taking a property that's not in the city limits today, but it's neighboring, and we bring it in so it's now in the city limits. But
Do they have to agree to that? Do the
No,
properties
The individual property
owner?
owner does not, but
Oh,
you know it's not that clear cut. But what we do is if we annex more property in, every existing taxpayer in the city of Quincy will benefit, because the cost of running the city or the park district, the city and the park district have the identical boundaries. Okay, if we annex some additional property and you kept the cost of running that government entity the same, you're spreading it over more payers. So the pre-taxpaying group benefits by getting a few other taxpayers to the table.
Gotcha.
Okay, so there is a benefit there. Now, you have to be careful, because if I annex your neighborhood or your 3 houses and you don't have a street, you don't have gutters, you don't have curbs,
Then you have to provide
the
that.
city may be obligated to do that. So you got to weigh the cost of bringing that up to the city code and the timing and that. But we also have people that have had city water and sewer, but they live outside the city limits. They typically have agreed, once the city boundaries get closer, that property has already agreed that they are agreeable to be annexed. Okay? So we try to pick those up as the community has grown, but, it's...
When you annex things, do those numbers go towards the, what was it, 30 or 40 by, what was it, 35 by 40?
That plan?
Yeah,
Well,
that,
I mean,
that,
yeah,
that
it's all
2 by
part
4
of it.
thing.
Yeah, but
What
I
was
mean-
the numbers? I can't remember.
I remember 40 by 30, I think.
Okay, does that
40 by
count
40.
though towards that? Is that something that we're,
Technically, the numbers would help add up to that, but, we still need so many people just for our large employers to fill, the open primary jobs that we have.
yeah.
So, but, and Quincy has grown. When you look back when we were closer to 50,000, our geographical boundaries were shorter than they are today. Okay, so we had to take care of less streets, curbs, sidewalks, water lines, sewer lines than we do today with fewer
But people were just living, they were just living on top of each other? If there were more people and...
Well, families were probably larger. So, if you lived, you lived with your folks and you didn't have one child, there were 3 or 4. Okay.
And look at if there's a bunch of abandoned houses in a certain part of town, at one time those houses were filled with people
Gotcha.
too. So look at it that way. So are we wrapping up here? I have one more question. Do you have another question?
one last question. We were speaking about that something that didn't get made on to the video. If you could explain a little bit about the waste.
Oh, wastewater.
Well, how we're turning,
sludge?
we're making compost. I
Yeah,
found that
she
really,
You can't
really
just dump that back
interesting.
in the river?
He said that, and I was like, God, he pees in my plants. So, it would come from him.
Mayor, welcome to my world.
Yeah. So, okay, if you could just explain
So-
this, I did find this fascinating.
Okay, so-
for somebody that pays $800 in soil every year.
Yeah. So the wastewater treatment takes all the sewage, it goes down across from our lock and dam. And we process to clean that up, and then we have to currently, we haul that as liquid waste, and we can bury that in farm fields, and they use it as fertilizer. The last couple of years, it's like $1 million expense to our wastewater treatment fund to haul off whatever we can haul in that season. We also have curbside yard waste pickup. And there's 2 components of the yard waste pickup. The curbside, and then once it gets all pulled together, then we also pay Evans to haul it to their Springfield location. Well, they're somewhere $1.5 million plus per year. We can take the sludge. We just recently got the council to approve purchasing some equipment that will take probably 85% of the moisture out of the sludge. We can put that over in another pile. We can then take the compost, instead of having Evans drop the curbside off to their site and then have to haul it later on. Gee, bring it over here, load it next to our dryer sludge. We will mix those together, and just like a composting in your backyard, it eventually makes dirt.
Yeah.
And then we can either sell it or give it away.
I like to give it away
to people in the community, and it's the best recycling. But more importantly, it will save the taxpayers well over $1 million a year.
It's good for the environment.
Yeah.
It was good for the environment. Why can't it just go in the river?
You have no idea, I guess, how the environment works.
I know how it works.
Gross.
Come on, I know nature. Good.
Yeah. Did you know that the river was not always the muddy Mississippi?
Yeah,
I learned that.
It was clear? It was clear at one time?
Well, it wasn't. I don't know, but
it actually was.
yeah,
Yes.
before the 1900s.
Well, yeah,
and all the mud,
the Industrial Revolution.
Mainly the agricultural with all the farming.
putting all the mud in the river, made it the muddy river.
Yeah. So
And we're the
but
muddy river.
we're looking at other ways, not so we can reduce expense versus where are we going to get more money.
Yeah.
And if we can reduce expense and it's like $1 million plus, I think that's a huge benefit for the taxpayer.
I think it sounds like a good plan.
Sure. Sounds great. Yeah, sounds
Good
great.
plan.
Wrapping up here. You ready to
More
make
plans? More plans?
You ready to make your announcement on whether you're running for re-election?
Well, that's what I was talking about with plans.
Oh, those plans, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
He's bad on my say.
we've got some very serious and large elections in 2024, and I think people need to concentrate on really what's facing our country, what's facing the state, and some of these other local elections. Let them focus on that, and I'll have my decision announced well in time before the city election,
Yeah, because you don't have to announce technically till what, like September or something?
sometime around then.
So, okay.
Before what? Wait, before the city election.
You would have to announce before September of 2024, I think, to announce to run in the spring primary which would be in February of
Got
2025.
plenty of time.
Does have plenty of time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's right.
Exactly.
So we won't hound you. We'll just periodically ask. But you did answer it. You said there's your timeline. So
Plenty of
I'll wait for the
time.
former mayor to give me a call.
I already relinquished back to you.
how about you?
I know. I said I've already relinquished
back?
it back to
Well,
you.
no, once you're mayor, now you're former mayor.
Oh, okay.
So you can't leave that.
Oh.
You're
Stigma forever.
you're no Don Nicholson, but hey, that's okay.
I don't know. What are you drinking?
I don't know.
She might be Don Nicholson. We'll explain that story after we're done. Mayor, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it.